Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Red Dead Redemption 2. Previously, we helped Captain Monroe by stealing vaccines for the Native Americans. We then met up with Hamish one last time and went boar hunting, which unfortunately ended with his death. And we ended up taking Buell for him. After that, we paid a visit to the last of our debtors, which included an AWOL army man with a pregnant native wife and a bereaved wife and son of a former miner from the Annisburg mines, which we know, isn't quite the most hospitable place to work. So instead of collecting the debts, we absolved both of them. Actually gave money to the second, and then we kicked Air Strauss out of camp once and for all. And so, I think Arthur just had enough of that, and I did right from day one as well. And so, with that being said, we're going to go visit Trelawney here and kind of see where that takes us. So let's get started.
Josiah?
I was,
Leaving again?
yes, just leaving. I'll see you soon.
Perhaps.
What do you mean?
Well, if I was you, I'd disappear too. This is all pretty much over.
I'll be back.
No, you won't. Let's not pretend no more. Get out of here.
I'll miss you, Arthur. You've been a fine friend to me.
No, let's not get over sentimental. Come on, the place is quiet. Get out of here. Go with my blessing.
Thank you, Arthur.
Found a friend looking for you.
Mr. Morgan,
Sir,
how are you?
a little better.
I hope so.
How can I help you?
I am sorry to impose on you again, but I believe I have made progress brokering peace.
You have?
I believe so. Colonel Favors has agreed to a meeting to discuss and maybe resolve his alleged grievances and mine. Now, he has lied to me more times than I care to remember, but maybe this time he must want peace. Why could he possibly want to humiliate us further?
We got words for his kind, but they're colloquial.
Perhaps I could make one last request. My men are not allowed to carry arms.
You want us to keep the peace?
Yeah, it'll be a lot of dull talking and ceremony. But I feel with some non-tribe members present, their chances of lying or worse will be reduced.
Will you, Arthur?
It ain't my business, brother.
No, I know. But it is mine. Do it for me?
Charles, I got...
I've saved your life. Do it for me.
Sure. Come on. You owe this man. You should have him do your negotiations.
Let's go.
This way. I also have some men meeting me there. I wasn't sure if you'd be able to help. Thank you for doing this, both of you. You have already done so much.
Ain't a problem. Just hope nobody recognizes me. I've had a few run-ins with the army recently.
I wish we could have done more to control the situation. Dutch shouldn't have gotten involved. Now Eagle Flies is under arrest.
It certainly won't help our case today.
I will find a way to help him. I promise you.
I just hope Colonel Favors can be reasoned with. I am not asking for very much, but when our people are sick and hungry, and we find our medicine and supplies are being deliberately withheld, how can we not view that as something personal? When they destroy our sacred sites, how can I convince Eagle Flies and the others that they shouldn't fight back?
Maybe that's part of the reason they're doing these things. Because they want you to fight. Be able to say, look, you see how these savages behave?
Perhaps. Thank you for helping Captain Monroe to retrieve those vaccines, Arthur. He will be at the meeting and is one person who knows the true situation, at least. I still have hope that we can come to an agreement. Here we are. There's my men up ahead.
Hello.
Hold.
Easy.
Wichashikila na kula wichiampi. Hilpo. Unyapi ktelo. This way.
I never realized they were Lakota. I don't know why I'm just putting that together. I feel like I should have known that considering where I live.
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a hitching post.
Colonel Favors, Captain Monroe, we come in peace.
Hello again. Who are these two?
They're friends of my people.
Interesting looking fellows.
Yeah, they won't cause any trouble.
Well, I should hope not. Listen, Mr.
Chief.
Yes, Mr. I can't say that silly name. What is it?
In English, they call me Rainsfall.
Yes, I'm sure they do. Listen, we're all Americans here, and we want an outcome. But quite frankly, I'm confused. Your men are little more than criminals, in my opinion. Keep breaking peace treaties we've made, causing disturbances in everybody's lives. But I pride myself on being a gentleman. Really, I do. But there are limits. So, let me be very... Are you okay, man? Someone. Jackson, take him away. Where was I?
You're a gentleman with limits?
Are you being facetious, sir?
Come this way, buddy.
I said, are you being facetious, Captain Monroe?
No, sir, I am not.
Chief Raines.
That's Rainsfall.
Exactly. Chief Raines, the thing
It's quite a
is,
cough.
the federal government.
Sure.
that I handle
Wait here.
the situation.
I'll fetch you some water.
I'll be fine. Thank you.
No. You know he's going to have Monroe court-martialed. Or attempt to. He's going to make a disgrace of him.
Monroe? Seems likable enough for a West Pointer. Why?
You know what Favors is like. Because he thinks it's right. Because he thinks Monroe is a patsy. Or a spy. He's convinced he had something to do with those vaccines getting stolen. He thinks Monroe is going to force him into making a concession with the Indians. So he removes Monroe.
Removes how?
Favors wants him tried for treason and hanged.
Why does Favors care about the Indians?
Because he doesn't want to back down. His whole professional life. You know what they say about him. Hightail Favors. The man who missed a battle.
Poor Monroe. kind of liked him.
I know. Well, still, he's kind of stuck up.
Your men violated the treaty. That treaty is null and void. I have been appointed to negotiate.
Feeling better? Yeah. Come on. Let's go.
The lands you currently occupy belong to the United States government. Why is this so confusing, sir? Why?
Good day, Colonel Favors.
Well, that was remarkably unproductive.
Charles?
I'm afraid the federal government was quite clear, Colonel, that it wanted peace, and peace for all, and that the treaty had not been broken by anybody.
Oh, is that so, sir? And did it want impudence, sir, from a junior officer in public? Was that its plan too, sir? You insult me. You insult the regiment. Arrest this man.
Arrest me?
Gross insubordination. Disobeying an order. Treason.
Are you mad?
You had those vaccines stolen. You disrupted a negotiation.
Let him go.
This is all getting out of hand.
Aye.
Captain Monroe, let's get out of here.
Aye,
If
aye.
I were you, I'd keep my mouth shut, amigo. I don't want to kill this man, but shall.
Get off me.
Charles, Captain Monroe, mount up now. We're getting out of here.
Time to get out of here. Come on.
Just let him go, okay? You son of a bitch.
I got a shot. Open fire on him.
Out this way, come on.
Easy. You're okay.
Get! We got some on our tail. Fire!
Yep, we can. Look out, they're still coming. Man, please hold your fire.
Kill those Indian lovers.
Hold your fire.
More on the left! Head for the trees! We're penned in! Go! Find some cover and protect Monroe! Come on!
Come on, Captain. Can you shoot?
I can't do it!
They're trying to kill you.
I swore it
You're
This was your last mistake! Behind us!
Damn it.
What's our plan here?
Find a lull, then make for the valley.
This is insanity.
More of them. Just hold.
How did this go so wrong? We're sitting ducks here.
That nearly hit me!
This was meant to be a truce. Favors wanted this to happen. Ain't got long left, you son of a bitch.
Okay. It's now or never. Let's go. Captain Monroe, you're with me.
Come on.
Hop on, Captain. We sure as hell don't want to hang around here.
Come on! Follow me! More behind us! What do we do now?
You get out of here. Fast. Take you to the station.
I can't believe that just happened. I've been an army man my whole life.
I heard them talking. They was gonna have you hanged for treason. You can't die for those fools.
And what about the chief?
We'll do what we can.
I guess I won't be submitting my report.
I wouldn't think so. Get out of here, Captain Monroe.
I fear it may be Mr. Monroe from now on.
I'm sorry about your career. Here. Here's some money. You take it and get out of here and start a new life somewhere. I hear Tahiti's nice.
Thank you.
Just hop on a train to Saint Denis, jump on a boat, but avoid Guam.
Where?
Forget about it.
Meet me at the reservation.
Morgan! Are you okay?
Well, never better. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm on my way down to Mexico. They're finally sending me on a mission. Brother Dorkins is very jealous. What's wrong?
I'm dying, sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I got TB. I got it. Beating a man to death for a few bucks. I've lived a bad life, sister.
We've all lived bad lives, Mr. Morgan. We all sin. But I know you.
You don't know me.
Forgive me, but that's the problem. You don't know you.
What do you mean?
I don't know, but whenever we happen to meet, you're always helping people and smiling.
I had a son. He passed away. I had a girl who loved me. I threw that away. My mama died when I was a kid. And my daddy, well, I watched him die. And it weren't soon enough.
My husband died a long time ago. Life is full of pain. But there is also love and beauty.
What am I gonna do now?
Be grateful that for the first time, you see your life clearly.
Sure.
Perhaps you could help somebody. Helping makes you really happy.
But I still don't believe in nothing.
Often, neither do I.
Huh?
But then I meet someone like you, and everything makes sense.
You're too smart for me, sister. I guess I'm afraid.
There is nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Morgan. Take a gamble that love exists and do a loving act.
All aboard! I shall try.
I know you will. Goodbye, goodbye, Mr. Morgan. God bless. Goodbye.
Sister?
That conversation always hits right in the feels for me. If you don't connect with her throughout the story, one thing I never knew about is that, of course you don't know her, so she doesn't show up here. And instead, this is actually where Reverend Swanson finally leaves camp. Instead of talking to her, you end up talking to him. It's kind of unfortunate in a way. I feel like Sister Calderon is really important to Arthur's redemption arc. But I also really feel like, Swanson, as soon as the events of the bank went south, he started turning his life around. And it really would have been nice to have a kind of a final conversation with him as well. Not just with Sister Calderon. Interestingly, too, she is a throwback character. I never realized that for the longest time. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I won't talk about that till we get to the very end of the story, for spoiler reasons, but... While we are here, let's go meet up with Seamus, I think his name is. It's nice to be back in the region.
You're back. All right, take a look. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes. People lose these all the time.
I don't really use these that much. I don't know why I even keep holding on to them.
After a little tchotchke, are we?
I like that he refers to that.
Well, likewise, Seamus.
Well, life takes its toll on all of us, don't it? But guess we're still here.
I like how he refers to them as tchotchkes. It's not a term of phrase I hear very often. It's really coming down. The question is, how do we get up there? Oh boy, what is that? Is that a wolf? Or a cat? Oh, it's a cat. Cat.
It's okay, girl. Just
Big kitty. Oh, no, 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 no.
damn it.
Oh, it's crap. It's alive. Well, guess I can collect some more meat for camp, because I know we're really low. Oh, it's a good pelt. I might as well keep it. So let's check out the house. We've probably ridden by this place several times. Just never paid it any mind, I guess.
What the hell?
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Don't really need anything. Oh yeah, you can see the hole in the roof. This house seemed to have been struck by something, a meteor maybe. So I wonder if there's a piece of the meteor in the house. I suppose I could take another look at it. Let's check a little bit closer. Oh, yep, there it is. Where are you? I see it showing up. I don't actually see it. There we go. Cool. Yeah, let's get out of here. A piece of meteorite can be sold. Huh. Or I could just hold on to it. That's pretty cool. If you ask me. I think there's something else nearby. I don't think we've come across this one. Again, I've probably ridden by it 100 times, like the Meteor house, but... thought this old trading post in Roanoke Ridge was kind of interesting. Oh, okay. It is kind of interesting. I love abandoned buildings. You know, back in my hometown, you know, when I was younger, one of my friends and I, what we would do all the time is just go ride around on like the railroad beds and stuff, because there's no tracks on most of them, and we would just ride around on them for hours and come across places like this, bigger buildings, and kind of explore them. And made me think of when I was even younger, you know, way back when, you know, at grade school. And I lived outside of town in a pretty small little township, kind of out in the woods. And we had a lot of abandoned buildings out there too that we would just, you know, go and explore. It was always fun. Dangerous. Don't recommend it, but sure was fun. So I do believe we're looking for a crater. And I think that's it. Boy, I should have come here in the daylight. Here, you stay here. Now this is kind of cool. That must be the impact site. Yeah, so the little hunk that split off is probably what landed in that house that we picked up. Ooh. Found a rock that had fallen from the heavens. Yeah, so I'm guessing is that the initial meteorite here impacted and that a small piece of it broke off. I kind of feel bad. We keep dropping in on Charlotte in the middle of the night. So maybe we'll sleep it off first. The lantern is still tracking onto Dragic's automaton. If you notice the color change. Oh, are you kidding me? Another one?
Easy.
I feel like there's a part of me that kind of wants to try hunting this one. I've never actually got the drop on one. Why don't we try? So I heard the cat. It sounded like it came from this direction. Sound can be very misleading, though. Coyote over here. Got a bear off to my right. The cat, I could swear it came from over this way, though. The cats are really hard to get a drop on. If you notice, the only time... Oh, he knows where I'm at, doesn't he? I think I got the drop on him. So, my ears served me well there. It's 2 cougars in a rather short period of time.
Shh, girl, won't take long.
Don't really need the pellet.
Hey there, girl.
You gotta wonder what cat meat tastes like. not wonder as far as to actually want to go and eat it, but still gotta wonder. I gotta figure out where the heck I am. There we are. Okay, to Charlotte's then. The real reason we came up here.
My. I was wondering when I was going to see you again.
You look different.
Well, the rigors of simplicity take their toll on a woman.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it.
Oh, I know. Things are going well. I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, you did it all yourself.
So how are you holding up?
I'm still standing, which is an improvement on the last time you saw me.
I wish that there was something else that I could do.
Ma'am, you have done more than enough.
Please, call me Charlotte.
Arthur Morgan.
Well, you take care of yourself, Arthur. Well, please go on in and help yourself to anything you need. What's mine is yours.
Oh, well, that's very kind.
It's all good though. I don't need anything. I just realized that was the first time they've actually formally introduced themselves to each other. Oh.
I said, hell, even a blind hog finds an acorn every once in a while.
Hey, you want company, boys?
Sure, because I want to be pissing needles tomorrow.
Hey, did I get in your way?
Yeah, you kind of did.
This is town.
Go away. Just go away.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but well...
Well, you're sorry. Yeah, I heard you.
But, I mean... Well, this country is man unleashed. That's the thing, and it ain't my fault any more than it's anyone else's.
Man unleashed? Then unleash goodness. Not just Hell's feeble brothers, sir.
But how? I mean, all I know how to do is fight, guess. I was set free to fight. Where's your son, Mrs. Downs?
Where you think? Down the mine. Until he gets sick. Which won't be long, given how hard they work him. See, foremen don't like him, so he gets the worst of it.
Maybe I could go with...
Well, maybe you could just leave us all alone. Maybe. Maybe you could just go fight some other battle.
I more than understand her,
Let's go, girl.
I more than understand her want to, you know, to not have us involved. I mean, could you imagine the person that put you in your situation like this, killed your husband essentially, or quickened his death, at least, has your son working down in a mine, you're working the streets. I don't think I'd want his help either. And we've met this foreman before. In fact, in the previous episode.
Hey, boy! Hey, boy, your mom's a whore, little boy.
Be quiet, Mr. Dockery.
Oh, your mom's a whore, and that's a goddamn fact. Hey, anybody want to get lucky tonight? Go home here with Archie.
Why don't you shut up?
Oh, all right. Who's this, your daddy?
My daddy died. And this man, he killed him. What are you doing here?
Leave the boy alone.
Why'd you kill his daddy? You after his mama?
Stop bullying the boy.
Get out of my business, mister.
Leave the boy alone.
Or what?
Or I'll kill you too.
You couldn't kill no one. Look at you, all ragged and sick and weak. Clear off, you goddamn hermit. Clear off! You and the whore's son here. Can't even...
Let me go! Now who's next? Let the boy go. Let him go! Come with me. Shame on you. He's just a goddamn boy! Let's get you out of here.
They're gonna kill me. Now I got no job and they're gonna kill me.
I've got some money. You and your mama can go someplace nice.
Well, why are you doing this?
I don't know. Listen, take this. All of it. Try and talk to your mama and get out of here. Now run.
I'll try.
Good boy. I don't want to see you here again.
Oh, I tell you, the situation they end up in. A lot of people ask about Mrs. Downs, why she looks the way she does. And a common thing that you pick up doing what she's doing is syphilis. And there's other conditions, but that's one that immediately would come to mind that would likely cause the marks on her face the way you see them. Which is also really sad considering what her husband had, because I don't think there's really a good way to treat that at the time. And that's I know far more about tuberculosis than I do about many other bacteria, but syphilis is one of those that just you don't want to. The less you know, the better. It's a nasty one. think this will do. Alright, I'm not gonna sleep quite yet. So, we have a new newspaper that I've yet to read. And so I would like to do that. I think we are on New Hanover Gazette, yeah, 35. Alright. So, bridge blown, terrific explosion, transport disabled, munitions of war unable to reach fort. A thunderous boom was heard across the valley between New Hanover and Amberino as the remnants of the Bacchus Bridge fell into the ravine below. The littered wreckage burned white hot and sent smoke billowing skywards. According to local officials, the bridge is thought to have been sabotaged with dynamite, although investigators are not discounting other possibilities. All military supplies destined for Fort Wallace are now idle, including dragoons, a hospital detachment, and munitions of war sorely needed in the area. The driver of a train that passed through there earlier that day reported seeing two men on top of the bridge acting suspiciously, but as yet they have not been identified. Law enforcement officers have been combing the surrounding area looking for the perpetrators. The governor has ordered the assembly of a large team of workers that will be dispatched to start rebuilding the bridge as soon as possible. And that is, of course, referring to John and me. Dynamite stolen, several dead, wagon hijacked in Van Horn. So this would be when Micah sent Bill and I to deal with the, to steal the dynamite, essentially. A wagon carrying cartridges of dynamite was stolen in a brazen hijacking. When the perpetrators fled, multiple men lay dead or wounded. Onlookers said that there was a sufficient amount of explosive to blow up the largest bridge in Saint Denis, which we did. The shipment, just not in Saint Denis, the shipment originated from the Annisburg mine, which had surplus dynamite. The dynamite was destined for Saint Denis, where it was said to be sold. The wagon continued its journey. The driver noticed a man lying down in the road, appearing to be sick or badly intoxicated. He was going for the drunk motif. The driver ordered the man to move so that they may continue their journey. At that moment, men hiding behind rocks emerged and shot and killed the driver and guards. Now, that's not how that worked out. They then escaped with the wagon. The gang are assumed to be immigrants or a rogue gang of Indians. Law enforcement has been searching the area, hoping to locate the dynamite before it is used for criminal means, such as blowing open a bank safe. And we actually used it to blow up the bridge that we just read about, interestingly enough. See, they're already blaming this stuff on the Native Americans. This is before we even got involved with it, really. Or not before, but, before we started getting really heavily involved. Cornwall murdered. So this is kind of how we started the chapter pretty early on. Dramatic developments in story of the tragedy. Assassins ambush rich man in Annisburg. I love the headlines. The gruesome murder of prominent industrialist Leviticus Cornwall has shocked the country. Members of Congress have called for a special investigation into what is being billed by concerned police as an assassination. Arriving via boat for a business meeting in Annisburg, Cornwall was set upon by assassins who killed him stone dead. The worried authorities worked in vain to trail the violent murderers who fled after a dangerous gun battle. Many of Cornwall's private guards and local lawmen took part in the furious exchange of hot lead. The identities of the evil murderers are still entirely unknown. Mr. Cornwall was building a significant presence in the area, having recently bought a stake in the local coal mine, which was previously exclusively operated by the Jameson Mining Company. And I think that's the company you can actually do a little bit of work for. If you talk to one of their higher-ups. Indeed, he provided employment throughout the country, and it is entirely unthinkable why anyone would seek his death, as his businesses have put biscuits on the table and provisions in the larder of thousands of families. But he's also corrupt. He's also so corrupt, though. How do they not see that? That's why these papers are so very clearly bought and paid for. The most thorough investigation was made shortly after the commission of the crime, but officials could not produce evidence strong enough to prove motive for this awful killing of a fine American. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this whole paper is about us. It's just from front to back. Vanderlyn gang close to capture. Infamous killers will soon be captured. Authorities say they are close. Authorities and the Pinkerton Detective Agency say they are very close to having Dutch Vanderlyn and his gang in custody, and they should be lodged in jail by the end of the month. The gang was responsible for the infamous boat robbery in Blackwater and have left a trail of death and destruction wherever they pass. They have held up trains, stolen weapons and livestock, and even attempted to rob a bank. Actually, we've robbed 2 banks, I think, so far. The gang of thieves is believed to be thinning in numbers, as internal squabbles and gunfights with the law have taken out several members. Army General praises troops, cites quick victory in Spanish-American War. So this might actually have nothing to do with us. General Edwin Forsyth praised a large assembly of troops in Washington, D.C. yesterday. Definitely not us, citing their quick victory over the Spanish in as little as 10 weeks. He said there is no larger might in the world than the United States Army and Navy. The Treaty of Paris stands as proof that no country dare challenge the United States. Our men fight strong and brave in forgotten country. After the procession, reporters asked Mr. Forsyth about the recent problems with corrupt regiments, including those at West Ridge, some in Hawaii, and some argue Fort Wallace in our region. Okay, there we come in, because Colonel Favors is clearly corrupt. Forsyth indicated that these were extremely isolated incidents that occur when decentralized regiments operate in remote areas. However, he said that the vast majority of men who serve in the United States Army are honest and true. Okay, weekly roundup. Raccoon and possum hunting is a great sport for younger boys. Theodore and Maud Hammond are better as of this writing after the wagon accident last month. Cecil, son of Mattie Hubert, is battling chills and biliousness. Some boys up in the hill landed up on mean corn whiskey and held the Jubilee last weekend. On account of illness, Reverend T. Virgil Gosnell, I feel like I've heard that name before, failed to meet his appointment to speak at the service of is that supposed to be like Imogene Minson? Electric lights are beginning to show up in the cities across America. Mrs. Addie Neely and Beatrice Thacker, the gayest of friends, are back home after the theater tour of 2 sets of curtains. Flora, the little daughter of Virginia Lamb, died Tuesday evening after contracting a sickness last month. She has gone to join her older sister, Ruby, who passed 3 weeks prior. Lottie Van Pelt, who has been sick with malaria fever for quite some time, cannot expect to last much longer. Malarial fever. I can't imagine malaria would be that big in the States at this time. I guess it depends on where the people are traveling. Mrs. Blanche Gorman, that's going to kind of depend, I think, on how you pronounce that, is the guest of Miss Mamie Boatwright this week. Okay. I've never seen an article like this before. That's interesting. Money like water. New York becomes land of opulence, private balls around. New York is now one of the world's most opulent cities, as titans of industry and manufacturing build vast mansions and hold fabulous balls to show their latest architectural prize. Expensive black carriages are on parade every day between 4 and 5 p.m. as wealthy have coachmen drive them through the Central Park as astonished onlookers watch. Enormous stores taking over an entire city block have been erected, one having 125 departments of everything from toys to telegraphy. Am I saying that right? No, never mind. A facility for local gutter snipes, and street Arabs has been opened by a local titan of industry. The hotels in New York have become lavish beyond description, with wives renting enormous suites for society parties. New York's wealthy social circles are truly in full swing, and the attending industries that serve their pleasure report record business. Truly, for those who can afford gold, this is a true golden age. Some, however, point out that the brutal poverty that greets most immigrants just a few miles from these places in lower Manhattan. Kind of wonder what New York would be like at this time. Remains of families found, reports of cannibalism. Man is the most predatory and indeed carnivorous of all the animals, but what drives men to revert to uncivilized, savage state of cannibalism? That question is on the minds of investigators who have discovered human remains in a cave near an abandoned wagon train in the Grizzlies east of Lake Isabella. That's referring to the guy, the Wolfman we see out in the woods, in the mountains, or not mountains, but in the woods around. I think the woods around that area. Yeah, because we're technically in the Grizzlies right now, right? Teeth marks on the remains indicate that the cave dwellers resorted to eating each other, possibly in order to survive. Early reports say that remains are believed to be the Drennan and Harville families whose wagon train disappeared in January 1896. Scientists are currently excavating the scene. Maybe that's not what I'm thinking it is. So there's the Wolfman that we see in the eastern part of the mountains. If you follow through with him, he is with a wolf pack. I wonder if he's moved maybe. If they're talking about a different site, because his site's definitely not disturbed, as far as people coming for it. Not entirely sure. O'Driscoll hanged. Notorious outlaws' luck runs out. Como Driscoll was hanged in Saint Denis, ending his ruthless time on the run as notorious outlaw, the leader of the O'Driscoll Boys. The gang perpetrated numerous robberies, train holdups, and brutal murders on the side of the Grizzlies, striking fear into the residents and travelers in the area. Since the death of his outlaw brother a decade prior, Como Driscoll has run with both Irish and American hoodlums, willing to die for a few dollars and some whiskey. O'Driscoll had previously avoided the gallows following 2 separate murder convictions, and some members of his gang began shooting at police in retaliation directly after the execution. That wasn't his people, that was my people. That was Sadie. Basically, we can blame that one on Sadie. All right. Contamination, water undrinkable, bizarre sickness spreads. Roanoke towns are often plagued with poverty, superstition, and maladies, but other deformities began to appear among residents of rural Butcher Creek. The townspeople say that the area may be cursed. Contaminants were found, and some accused the Roanoke Mountain Fuel Company of fouling the local drinking water, resulting in large goiters, rashes, sores, and psychosis. And I did a very lengthy discussion of what that stuff was because I'm very familiar with it. So, if you're interested in that, I think, what was the episode called? The Wisdom of the Elders, I think. The symptoms also point to lead poisoning. Yeah, that's part of it. Similar to those seen in plumbers and painters, with victims becoming unusually pale and weak. The eponymously named creek and Elysium Pool are polluted, though residents will not seek action against the mining company and are instead seeking a spiritual solution to their problems, despite all the work we went through to help them. So yeah, it was lead and arsenic poisoning from acid mine drainage left behind by a mining operation. And if you go to that area, you'll find a bunch of mangy animals and poisoned animals, or toxic animals. Oh boy, I hate this guy. I'm going to say that every time I read these. The Art of Angling by Jeremy Gill. Northern Pike. Pike are the angry prince of most lakes and rivers. My favorite trophy pike was caught off the coast of Ireland. Having already established a remarkable reputation, upon returning to the tiny village with a 39-inch pike, the townspeople hallooed and escorted me to a delightful pub where a lovely girl sat on my lap and played the badron, singing a limerick about my angling skills as her mother cooked the fish into a meal shared with everyone. They even opened a church in my honor. If you plan on catching a northern pike, as they are called here, try a river lure when it is a bit dull outside. I think of that delightful Irish maiden every time I fish the grizzlies. The guy is such a piece of work, I tell you. I bet half these stories, too, what he says is just him making stuff up. Okay, well, I probably should have slept before reading that. Can I sleep? Sleep. There we go. We'll sleep till noon. All right, that's a good place to close things out. So to recap, we started off by connecting with Trelawney, who officially left the camp, and I like the fact that Arthur told him, you go with my blessing, get out of here. Trying to show that there's no hard feelings on this, because Trelawney's the character that's always been known to kind of nope out every once in a while and then just show up again down the road. And they've had a lot of conversations about his loyalty to the group and all that, and it's like, in the end, I feel like Trelawney's always been there for us in ways, in what I would say are his strengths. I always liked him as a character, but then we connected with Charles and Rainsfall. Rainsfall wanted us to go to I don't know if I'd call it really a parlay, but they're supposed to have a meeting with Colonel Favors and Captain Monroe about the state of things here in their region. And so we went with them to the meeting. Things did not go very well. Arthur was able to get some intel that, they were planning to claim treason on Monroe's part to get rid of him. And so the meeting didn't really go the way it was supposed to as far as what Rainsfall was hoping for, but I don't think he necessarily expected it to go that way. He was just hoping for the best, and doing what a leader can do in his situation. He's trying to get throughout all of this without, they want to maintain their land and their position of where they are, but he's trying to do it without bloodshed, and his son is kind of going against that, and Dutch has been fueling those flames, and so I kind of figured from the start that wasn't going to go quite the way they'd planned. And while I do think Dutch is not helping matters, I don't think it was going to matter in the end. I think they were going to push for this anyway. It maybe just not as quickly. Who knows? So anyways, it didn't go well for him. He took off, but that's when Colonel Favor started getting up in Monroe's face about, having him, trying him for treason, essentially, accusing him of treason. And so, we went cowboy on them and kind of sped off with Monroe, got him out of the region, sent him on a train to leave and not look back, set up a new life, which is probably the only way he was going to get out of this unscathed. And then interestingly enough, we got to connect one last time with Sister Calderon, who is, I think she said she was going out to Mexico on her first mission or something like that. But the words exchanged between them to me are so heavy in so many ways, and I think necessary to hear in so many ways. Arthur kind of talks a little bit about his past with her and how he's sick, how he got sick, a little bit about his past on top of that, bringing up again the idea that he had a son that we didn't really know about, and that he's afraid. He's afraid of what's coming. He doesn't believe in anything, and he knows he's going to die, and he doesn't know what's to come, and it scares him. And I really like the point that she said, some days I don't believe in anything either. She said, then I meet someone like you, and that changes. And it kind of really shows, as bad of a man that Arthur can be, as bad of a person he could be at times, I guess depending on how you play him, but he's really, a good guy in the way that, at least in the way that we've been playing him as much as we can. And so I really felt like that conversation with her was, was important. The other part of it that I thought was really interesting, and I mentioned it earlier, is that if you don't connect with her, and I think it's important that you do, but if you don't connect with her, you end up having a similar type of conversation with Reverend Swanson because he leaves pretty early on here. Or I shouldn't say early because we are getting towards the end of the chapter, but he's the one who leaves. He's the one who we run into at the station. And so at this point, I'm assuming Reverend Swanson is probably gone from camp or will be gone from camp. He was still there when we were talking with Trelawney, but I suspect that he's probably not there anymore. Or if he's not, he won't be soon. So after that, we kind of headed up north, met up with Charlotte one last time. It seems like she's doing really well for herself. And so, at least we got to do something good there. We went to Annisburg to kind of finish things off before we made our way out here. And we ran into Edith Downs, who she's working the streets still, but now in Annisburg instead of in Saint Denis. And her son has been working in the mines, and it sounded like the foreman really has it out for him. And so we kind of broke that up and got him out of there, gave him some money, and we'll kind of see where that plays out. So the reason we headed out here, we're close to Bacchus Station right now, or right on top of it maybe. I didn't check the map, but we're around Bacchus Station area, is because we are going to go to Wapiti next time to meet up with Charles. So with that being said, we are officially going to close things out for the day. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you all later.